Well, we've been running around the entire island here, but there still has been this one big conspicuous castle. I think it's about time that we do it. Has a variety of different puzzles in it, testing out sound, parallel lines, tetrominoes, everything like that. So it's sort of like a miniature town, except it's also like almost a life-size puzzle of everything, because you got hedge mazes here. Over here you have like a board game version of these puzzles. It's an interesting, neat concept, despite the fact that it is hyper gimmicky.
It is a total gimmick area. It's not bad. It's like, and you kind of go through the hedge maze yourself. You go through these puzzles yourself. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely a test of like how do you know how the witness works, because you are going to be tested on everything related to that. So I think that yeah, the solution to this, if you're not running into any of the fences, is just like this. No.
It feels like a really early version of the game, like in a lot of ways. Feels like, okay, can I explain this game in a very, very simple way?
Yeah, I mean, like I actually kind of got that sort of like idea when I was thinking about how exactly did old Jay Bizzle design this game. So obviously not walking on the grass here. They have those signs for a reason. But like the thing I immediately thought of is if you look at like a map of roads in the country, or you know, like the concept of ley lines, way back
No,
in the day.
no, I actually don't know what that is.
Oh, really? Hey, well, cool. It is an old like places of magic or something in. It's like this, right? Yep, there we go. It's like places of magic in the world or something, and it's like all these points where like magical, like think of tectonic shifts, except instead of like magma, magic.
Oh,
They
okay.
were usually based on like roads, like old roads back in like ancient Europe, so they tended to be where cities were. But yeah, it's this old thing that you'll occasionally like hear in. It's just such a weird way to do that. You'll occasionally hear in like a general fantasy type of stuff, because it's a pretty compelling concept. Well, like just thinking about like lines leading from cities or anything like that, it just feels a lot like this sort of game.
Oh, well, what is that? Is that like a body?
Oh, you didn't see that? I pointed it out in the Forest of Fall. It's one of those things where you have a bunch of disparate like parts, but then it casts a shadow that's like a person sitting.
Oh, yeah, yeah. No, I didn't, I didn't know about that one.
Oh, there's so many of them in this game, and it's actually pretty easy to find them. Like this one, did you ever see that?
What is that supposed to be? Is that like a
It looks like a
person?
little shadow of a person lying down.
Oh,
So yeah, probably pretty hard to tell, but you can hear on the ground that gets squishy when you're going in the wrong direction.
oh. Yeah,
So what you need to do...
kind of a sound puzzle.
Yeah, I mean, this is probably one of the more bearable sound puzzles in the game, just because you don't have to wait 30 seconds for it to loop entirely.
Well, honestly, it's fine if you're going to do a sound puzzle. Like, just making them really straightforward is fine. Like, you don't have to have like, you don't have to know exactly what Jonathan Bow is thinking to do this puzzle. It's like, no, there's a feedback mechanism.
Still can be a little bit difficult to hear, though. I don't know. I mean, I already had people saying it's just like this is the sound jungle is the worst part of the is the worst part of the entire game, and it's like I could not agree more. I hate
Yeah,
that area,
definitely.
and I just don't think it's good.
It just wasn't like, it wasn't well designed. I don't think it was one of those things where it's like you can get away with that if it's really, really well designed, but that wasn't. It wasn't as immaculate as all the other puzzles.
The fact that I had to brute force it, I think, really says a lot about. I had to brute force one of the puzzles says a lot about like why I didn't like it, because it's just like I
Yeah,
just
just
don't. I have done so much in this game, and I just do not know what you're asking of me here.
Yeah, this is a decent like little. I mean, it's a neat puzzle. So in this case, as with the cherry tree, you have to deal with the sort of contradiction, the cognitive dissonance of the puzzle on the ground, the hedge, the representation not matching the puzzle. So what you end up having to do is find a puzzle that meets both criteria.
Find a
It
solution that is
has to be
valid.
yeah, a path that satisfies both criteria.
And it's a pretty neat little culmination. You know, works a lot with like many other parts of the game up until this point. Which is like, despite the fact that this is very simple. I mean, you get 4 puzzles here, 4 puzzles on the other side, and then 2 final boss puzzles. Well, boss puzzles up there. It's just like it's a neat area. It's a neat little area.
I gotta say these other 4 puzzles can be pretty. I would say the hedge puzzles are really easy. Like they only take you a few minutes of thinking about it. These ones on the other side are a lot harder, I would say.
I would agree, because they are. I mean, they do have a very similar sort of way that they work compared to the hedge mazes, except you can screw up stuff pretty easily. It's like just because you can walk anywhere does not mean that this is valid.
Well, the bigger thing is that they incorporate the different elements of the game, and they also incorporate things that were in the hedge maze, like matching, things not matching the representation.
That said, if you were going to create a real-life version of The Witness, this is what it would look like, I would think.
Yeah.
And you've seen that sort of stuff before, where it's just like, hey, it's a real version of Mario Kart or whatever. It's like, this is exactly what it feels like it would be. And when it's complete, well, a gate opens, but also the circle fills in there. Oh, don't worry, that will come up later. Of course, something to listen to is the guy with the guitar.
I had known you. They see your pictures.
Is that something about like one of the environmental puzzles being impossible if you like completed these?
Who is he? I know not.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I don't think I saw the person with the guitar. I didn't see that
there was a thing on there. Yeah, because it's like I have done all of the environmental puzzles in this area, so I don't know. It's just wondering if you knew anything about that, because I still am working my way through that. I've definitely gotten a lot of the environmental puzzles done, but not all of them just yet.
I know not how to answer them. I say.
Very Alice in Wonderland, this area.
Who knows what they mean?
Yeah. And what do you think is going on in this situation? Do you think this is like a situation where they're lovers and
being kept at the gate? It's like, I don't really know. I would think that they might be like bandmates or something. You see how the guy's waving to maybe the guitarist there?
Oh, you think that guy like in the next to the woman is waving to the guitarist?
Who knows? I mean, it's obviously entirely up to interpretation, just based on however you want to do it, Anyway, fun thing here. This panel's broken, can't step on it, so you gotta go a little bit more unconventional of a route. And this really confused me the first time. You can still step on it, even though it's got the big black splotch on it. Ugh, very frustrating. I mean, did that one get you?
I don't remember. I remember this puzzle itself just took me a long time to figure out.
Damn it, I did it wrong anyway.
Yeah.
There are built-in resets and everything, but still. Yeah, this one did take me a while, but of course, I think I did the castle as one of the very first areas, just because it was, well, easier.
And as you can see, you can make impossible paths in this. It just doesn't help you at all.
It doesn't work. It will remain invalid puzzle solution. I do like there's something about like having a bunch of like the maintenance supplies sitting next to a place that I like.
Oh yeah, definitely. It feels really like this is just something like the real life Witness, and it's also like this theme park that's kind of like it's not run very well.
Yeah, where they just leave supplies laying out, and you're like, come on, guys, just clean it up a little bit.
Or it's just in disrepair, like a lot of the the scenes of this island.
Well, yeah, like everything in this island is pretty much in disrepair, I'd like to say.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, this one is a little bit confusing. I mean, it used the tetromino sort of thing, but you can't also walk directly in a straight line.
Yeah, you actually can't use the exact, like, you have to use a little bit of creativity here. I think this is the one where you have to step on the boards, too.
Yeah, I mean, it's like that is one of the things that you do get here as kind of a mercy. Unfortunately, I don't think there's any way that I could get over here without screwing up the puzzle. However, things work at infinite distance. It's always nice.
I think you screwed this up because I don't see how you can make that into a separate path.
Don't you? Wrong. You'd be correct. I did.
Oh.
All right, let's try that again.
Fair enough.
Well, actually, here.
Yeah,
what a way easier way to do this
is from within the puzzle. Yeah.
Oh, that's much nicer. much more pleasant in almost every way, because then I can just do an outline around it instead of trying to have to. I mean, it is definitely a different way to look at these puzzles, and I do like that, because you usually don't really think too much about like how exactly you would do this if you had to literally walk on these lines.
Yeah,
That's a
I mean,
weird
this is one of
little
those
scene
where
down
it's
there.
like it really is. It's a unique puzzle form that I think he just had an idea for it. He's like, I can't really put this anywhere else, so I guess I'll just kind of I'll just build an area around these kinds of puzzles.
I want to make a big version of my puzzles. My normal puzzles are too tiny. There we go. And also, I guess that's the guy that's receiving all of the bags down there for whatever it's
yeah.
worth, or whatever they're even supposed to be.
Bagman.
Yes, Bagman. And then this, an almost completely useless shortcut that I still missed like very easily the first time I played this game because I didn't think about going down here.
Is there an audio log on the ground there?
Oh, is there?
I mean back by the scene on the bottom there.
Maybe. I mean, might as well do
I
it.
don't know.
if
I
it
thought I
is.
saw it, but I could be wrong.
I don't see anything here.
Not here. I mean, like on the floor with those statues. I mean, there may not have been anything.
Oh, you're on a lag time. Give it a second.
I understand. Like maybe next to those people somewhere on the ground.
I'm already solving the next puzzle.
Okay.
Yeah, this one is the
Fine.
parallel lines deal, so it's actually pretty easy. You do have to still pay attention to it. And of course, on the other side of this pillar, in maybe one of the less sneaky versions of the discarded panel puzzles, is one hanging right there. All right. And the other thing is to get right past this G-Man. It's like my hairline there. I don't have nearly as cool of glasses, though.
So you're on a little bit of a lag. Oh yeah, the G-Man, yeah.
It should allegedly be ultra low latency according to YouTube because you can't get this on Discord anymore. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah. I don't know what's wrong with my computer or with the system.
You're suffering from a bad case of bad computer.
Well, at the same time, I need to get good, so it's a little bit of a.
You do. I mean, but that's, that's
That's-
always true. This one is. It's like you have to remember all the paths that you took through the maze, and I don't know if I feel like doing that. This one,
should have
however,
been should have memorized it. Should have taken screenshots.
I could have, but I didn't.
Looks like Jay Blow got you again, but then again, he would have judged you if you had taken screenshots. He would have said screenshot.
Yes, he would have
know what you're
indeed said
doing.
screenshot.
That was the whole thing, the insight in that puzzle. But I don't know. I could be misremembering.
There we go.
Oh, you got it?
No, I just said that to fool you. Anyway, this one though. Do I even remember how?
Oh.
Do you remember like the various solutions to this puzzle?
I don't remember.
Ah, dang.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I could probably do this, but I mean, we're on like a lag, so I don't know if it's gonna make sense. No, I don't think that's right.
Ah.
No, that's probably right. I don't know. I mean, I thought you took
get
the
it.
second notch on that one.
I'm the coolest and greatest, apparently.
Do you think this is right? Well, if it is, you got to go left 2, then down, then yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. Yeah.
I do like that it's like apparently like some sort of amnesiac. You keep continuously forgetting that you are on a pretty big lag time.
Yeah. Well, it's not.
It's like, oh wait,
natural.
did you get it? It's like, yes, like 3 minutes ago at this point. Oh,
Well,
before we leave here, there is one more puzzle to do. I think you know which one I'm
Is
talking
out.
about.
Are you talking about the? Oh, you're talking about the shortcut one, or you already did the shortcut? I think.
No, it's so much more sinister than that. Come on, what else is here?
I don't remember actually.
Yes,
is,
there's only one puzzle on derelict ship. And it is perhaps one of the.
I see.
Stop.
No, I'm actually. I didn't realize you were gonna do that. Yeah. I mean,
We really need to
you
get
said there's
Discord
one
working
puzzle-
again. Otherwise, I am
There's
going to be
what was that?
driven to madness.
You said there was one more puzzle, and I thought you were talking about the castle area, which was
This
where
is. I would consider this part of the castle area.
This isn't even like the same time period. This is like it's metal.
People can
It's
build
iron,
castles
it's-
all they want these days. Don't tell them what to do. There is
It's-
actually
it's
two
like-
puzzles here.
I forget what do you think this boat would? This is definitely like a 20th century boat, though, right? Maybe late 19th century.
Well, it's a 20th century boy.
20th century man, or 30th century man.
Yeah, a lot of good songs there. Anyway, yeah, I know it's not part of the same thing, but it's not like this is an area unto itself. It doesn't have like a box here or anything. It's really just the boat.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and speaking of the boat, got the one still over at the mangrove, apparently. A little fast travel. Or travel, as it's called. Since I guess it's not fast. People call me out on
Nothing in
that.
this game is fast. It's a contemplative game.
Yes. Speaking of slow and contemplative. I don't know, I always say contemplative.
I know. Actually, I did that deliberately.
Oh, well, you got me.
Haha.
All right, strap yourself in. When I was talking about the one puzzle that I had to look up a solution to, it was this one. And I didn't actually look up the solution to it, I just got a hint. But still, it is to my forever shame despite that.
Yeah, you were pitching a perfect game, and then you decided to intentionally walk Barry Bonds.
But what are you going to do, man? Anyway, so here's this puzzle. I'm sure you can probably tell from all the way back in the sound garden. I was gonna say jungle. Why did I switch it to garden? Anyway, that it is a sound puzzle, and it is not only sound puzzle. It is a parallel line sound puzzle, and the other line is invisible, as you would expect.
Mm-hmm.
So
and finally, to top it off, it's a reflection, or it's a representation puzzle.
Yep. Well, I mean, it's a sound puzzle, so you kind of expect that. But it's like the weirdness here comes in that you can very clearly hear some sound drops. No, like we're losing sound here. I mean, like water drops in the distance, and that's what is it? Low, high, medium, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And as you can see, there's so many more than that, and this is where I was kind of starting to struggle, and what I had to look up. Basically, there's also occasionally like some very loud creaking of the ship, like meow, that sort of sound, and those sounds are also integral to the puzzle, to completing the puzzle, which is not clear because they're on like a 2-minute loop. Like you need to sit here for 2 minutes to actually hear it. However, if you do, what it does is it goes medium, low, medium, high. And then you can see that there's also one more color here too, but I think that the black color is not actually supposed to be representative of anything. Like the magenta is supposed to be the drops, the orange is supposed to be the creaking, and then black is supposed to be like a wild card, because, you know, every time you've seen black dots in any other part of the game, they haven't corresponded to anything. Only colored dots seem to correspond to something with sound. They were red in the sound garden, for example.
Oh. Yeah,
So,
I didn't realize that. I didn't remember that, at least.
low for the drop, medium for the creaking, and then high for the drop. Low, high, medium, right? Well, anyway, that's medium, and I can go low, high, low, medium. I need to like go down here, but I can't. Low. It's low. It's medium, low, medium, high.
I'll believe you on that, but
So
I don't know myself. I skipped this puzzle.
Medium, low, and then I need high for you. Then medium, high for the creaking, and then medium for the drop. So this should do it. Oh boy, that is. I mean, I've held that sound puzzles are the worst in the game, and this one is very much included in that. And for your prize, it's the most phallic of all of the video solutions here. That one is, yeah, so you just skip that one entirely?
I just looked it up. Yeah, what that was. Phallic, I think it's a monk meditating.
Fine. A little bit of cross-legged
And I'm not
action.
just saying that because I was actually watching that video and it was definitely about meditation. It was like, again, like the Heart Sutra.
Yeah.
Like fucking here and now.
Oh,
You
this.
don't experience, you don't experience things. You don't experience the mind or the world. You experience your own experiencing of that.
Very much also feeds back in the Burke thing. I gotta watch the rest of those videos. I never did during the original time I was playing this. But anyway, yeah, I was gonna say here, we originally thought this might have been an environmental puzzle. Nope, it's an octopus. It is an octopus.
Really, I'm having trouble seeing that.
Oh, you see like the big bulbous head in the middle?
Oh, yeah, now I see it. Okay.
Yep, there's so
So,
many
like-
of those little things. Also, one of the things we missed back in the monastery is that if you look through the back wall, that the holes in the shutters make the box. You know what? Let's just go look at that right now instead of me trying to
Okay.
painfully explain it.
Yeah.
So I think it's a fun little. Hey, the perspective stuff is entirely unnecessary to actually beat the game or anything, but it is still fun.
I mean, I think it's part of the whatever you might want to call it, like the message or the theme of the game. Like,
Yep, it is
You
what
gotta
it
see
means.
things from different perspectives, which is a little bit trite and trivial when I say it like that. But it's like, beauty and meaning are often a matter of perspective.
Underselling it in some way, yeah. To just say like, hey, it's perspective, right? But it's like, no, this
It's all subjective. That's what Jonathan Poe is trying to say with this. Everything is just subjective and subjectivity. There is no objective truth.
Yes, there is no objective truth. There's only blow. There we are. It'll catch up in a second here. Yeah, there we go. Then like it's for each one of these.
Oh, I see. So, it's like a person.
Yeah, it's like a little cherubim blowing a horn, I think, is each one of them.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe like a harpy? I don't know, because this one has kind of like clawed feet.
I think cherubim's probably right for that one. And then, these kind of look like they look like Greek sculptures. Actually, now that I'm,
This one is definitely
No,
like an angel.
yeah, like a Catholic, the old weird Catholic angels.
Yeah, the ones that are like 100 eyes on a bands that are intersecting each other.
Yeah, I don't know if any of our viewers have seen this, but there's an anime called Neon Genesis Evangelion.
Never
and-
heard of it.
Okay, well, it involves a lot of those angles.
Yes. Can be your angle or your Delman.
Devlin.
Ah, yes. Mark Devlin. Anyway, the other thing that we're going... moving off of that immediately.
All right.
Though, to be fair, it's like Neon Genesis does have some pretty neat-looking angels in that.
Yeah.
One of them is just like a gigantic diamond.
Yeah, that's right. There's
Flies
a
around.
lot of like weird shapes and stuff. It just really cool things. By the way, there's a audio puzzle there. You probably have already gotten it, or an
Audio log? Actually, I don't know. Maybe,
yeah,
maybe we haven't gotten it
by
on
the
the...
foot of the bridge.
Huh? Maybe? Maybe I
I mean, you're
have.
not going back to it, so.
We can always just flip
Okay. Audio log.
on. Oh, well. I
whatever.
suppose we'll do it later. In the meantime, we do actually have the tools necessary to be able to solve these puzzles and finally get into the quarry.
Ooh.
With as I was told, apparently more commonly known as the antibody puzzles.
That makes sense.
I mean, it's like I called them the canceller last time, and I thought that was like a more reasonable sort of name for them because they cancel stuff. Like I guess like yeah, in the Witness Cool Kids crew, it's called the antibody.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
I guess. I don't know.
I mean, it's like it's a canceller. I think of it as it's a good example like negative space. So it's pretty straightforward. It's like the subtractive objects. It's kind of like the subtractive tetraminos
I
a
mean,
little
yeah,
bit.
it's actually very, very similar to that, except almost like more involved. Anyway, let's talk about them right now. So you see the little try symbol there? That's what that be. And basically what it does is it takes one of the puzzle gimmicks and cancels it out, immunizing itself against its deadly, deadly gimmicky effects. That is something that is actually pretty... I would say that it's like, even when we played this game for the first time, that's one that took a little while to kind of put your head around, because despite the fact that you do have all of these puzzles here, for example...
This is one of the few, because very few of the puzzles are explicitly like negative space, and when they are, it's usually called out pretty explicitly.
Yeah, this one it's just... When you know how it works, it makes a lot of sense, but until then, it's just... It's a weird one.
It's a little...
I can see a lot of people like getting very confused when they're playing this for the first time, just trying to figure out what the hell is happening right now.
Yeah.
And like...
That said, the tutorials are usually pretty good. I think it's more like there's a better chance that you're gonna end up like in the boat area in this, like the sub area. And you're not gonna be able to figure out what it does because you haven't gone through these tutorials.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like, even if you are... I just think that even if you do go through these tutorials, it's the idea that you are given literally impossible puzzles in a lot of circumstances here, and then you're asked to solve them, is just a weird thing to try to understand. Oh, jump up there. Almost missed it. Oh, yes, also one of the interesting things you can see in the background there, missing statue because it's apparently walked off and is walking around here. Interesting little concept. I said, yep, what a concept. Could get off this horrible statuary rock myself. And yeah, this... Now, by the way, it only cancels out one. So if you have
it
multiple...
cancels out exactly one, and then as we see, the tricky thing is it will cancel out a number of them.
It'll cancel out a number of them?
It'll cancel out one of the one that has less.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like, ultimately, you're usually only given one of these cancelers to work with in the first place, so...
Yeah, usually.
You're just finding the one to get rid of. When you are given multiple ones, that's when it becomes a little bit more difficult. It's when you say, yep, what a concept. I could use a little canceling myself. A little bit more canceling, specifically, because of the difficulty of these puzzles. Another one that doesn't appear in the post game, in the super game.
Oh yeah.
I guess just because it is so strange. I don't know. I mean, I think that this one is like logical enough that you could have done it. Maybe it's
weird. Perfectly logical when you understand what it's doing, but it takes a little while to get it, and then to be able to use it is another little bit tricky thing.
I don't know.
And I guess you have to accept that the puzzle is otherwise impossible to solve, which is not necessarily the case with a lot of these other puzzle types. Usually they're providing constraints. This is providing a constraint and a benefit that makes otherwise impossible puzzles possible.
Yeah, which is weird. But it's still... I mean, certainly it is something very different for a puzzle game to... by the way, if you want to, like, call me out on this, I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't remember how to do this one specifically. I think it's like...
Oh, what if I did it like... There we go.
I think... Oh, you got it?
Yeah. It took me a second there because I just kind of forgot what I was doing. These are ones that can sort of trip me up, especially this one. This one I found very difficult, even though it's really not. It's just...
Oh, it's not extraordinarily difficult, but it is like it does take some sophistication.
Let's see if I can actually remember how to do it now.
Well, remember you have to go around that inner square. That's obviously the most important part. I mean, there's really no way around that.
Yeah.
I don't know how you have to do something exactly.
Something like that.
Like you have to like go around it. It pretty much forces you to.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to do something like this.
Oh, you might be able to do. Yeah, I don't remember if is it one of the hexagons that you're supposed to use this on.
Yeah. I think it's specifically the hexagon underneath the bottom right red one, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
I don't remember exactly how.
Maybe you do that one that you just did, but use the inner square. I don't know if you.
I
if this is too much
spent
of a
all
time
of
lag.
my money on gambling. It's, oh boy, man, it is quite the sticky wicket now, isn't it?
Mhm. This is one of those where it's not extraordinarily difficult that you would forget it, but it's also not.
Easy enough.
It's not easy.
You would remember.
You just can't get enough.
I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough.
That's what I just said. What, are you just repeating back in it?
I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough. And I just can't seem to get enough. No.
Is it possible you're supposed to have like a green one that this is supposed to act on? I don't know.
Probably, but
Maybe not. I mean, anything is possible.
yeah. I mean, if you put your mind to it, we can do it.
Because I kind of, if I remember right, it's like if you recognize that you have that green one, like you can have a green one in the box that encompasses the floor. Oh, did you solve it?
Yep,
Oh, no.
I got it. Took me a second,
Okay.
but yeah, I was correct that was the one underneath the bottom right block. So it's a good thing I did remember that, because otherwise that could have been bad.
Mhm.
And I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough. And this is another very similar one to the OG.
The first bunker is what they're called.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah, in fact, the bunkers, it's one of the elements of the lake, which we'll get to later.
Oh yeah, we still haven't done the lake. We were talking about doing that during the Parallel Island arc, which was a while ago at this point.
Mhm.
Oh yes, and do have to remember to do this one. Get it? Because it makes a Bergstärker. There we go. And that is quite convenient. Unfortunately, we got so much more to do that's in the quarry here. Many more fun
So what's
times
wrong
we
with
had.
taking the shortcut?
Looking at these weird stone pigeons. I guess this is where they made all the statues or something.
That's a interesting theory.
I mean, it's not like there's a whole lot of theories that would make any sense in this game. It's a very nonsensical game.
Yeah. I mean, well, it has to be some. Well, it was built either in the quarry or the factory. There's no factory.
Isn't there? I swear there was like some kind of factory type of thing. Maybe I'm just thinking of something else. Maybe I'm thinking of this.
You're thinking of the tractor equipment in the.
Place right after the fortress.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that is what I was thinking of. There were like two
I don't know
buildings
why-
there.
Yeah.
The foundations
We
were
are
there. They're
not-
just gone.
We do not live in a rural area, so tractors and factories are pretty much interchangeable to us.
Tractories, we like to call them when we're feeling
Yeah.
particularly saucy and or mocative.
Yeah.
There we go. Again, even more difficult puzzles testing your knowledge. Yeah, this is why I kind of described the quarry as being an end game type of area earlier. Definitely has that sort of feeling to it, because there's so many puzzles that kind of tie into the rest of the island here. And
I think it's 134 or 431. It's got to be one of those. It's got to be 134.
what?
That one that you're doing right now. Or maybe
I don't
you
know
already
which
solved
one
it.
I'm doing on your screen.
The one with the tetraminos, it's 134. Oh, I guess you can do that too. There's I guess
Oh
there's
my
more
god,
places
we
and stuff.
have to get Discord working again.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Just gonna turn into complete nonsense otherwise.
Well, it's only when we're solving these puzzles in real time. That's the only real problem. But
Well, it
is
helps
a
you
big
kind of like,
problem given.
I don't know, because I would have liked to have done it post commentary and everything, but then you'd have to like rush through some of the puzzles to explain how they work. It's
Yeah.
so many trade-offs. Anyway, this one, the four tall Tetramino, is literally impossible in this puzzle. So we're gonna have to do it like this. Wait, what? No, right. I have to remember that things
So
can't
it's
overlap.
Yeah, so it's pretty much, it has to be that 4-1 just by definition.
Yeah, just like it has to be with that 1-1 right there, and so on and so forth.
I mean, yeah, you gotta, it's like, it's either that or you do the other. Yeah, the L shape.
This one is actually a very tricky puzzle because you're thinking, oh, I'm going to get rid of the L block, but it actually solves itself automatically. And then I didn't even realize that this was one of the panels that shut off after you failed it.
Oh.
No brute forcing allowed. Which is interesting. But I mean, I guess, that's how it be.
Oh, why didn't that one work? I'm at the point where you just screwed up.
No,
that
because
one.
I actually solved the puzzle if there wasn't the canceller in there.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that's interesting.
It's an interest. It's a cute. We talked about like Jay Bizzle having kind of a sense of humor. It's like that's definitely one of those examples.
Yeah.
Like, nice try, idiot. Okay. And I guess this is
It's
where
also
they process all the logs here. This is sort of the logging area compared to the quarry over there. It's an industrious island.
And is that where they make the audio logs?
Oh, boy. Proud of that one, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
Good. Anyway, yeah, we also have machines here that are activated by puzzles, because everything is. It's a very puzzle-heavy economy and ecology.
Everything runs on puzzles. It's just like the real world, except with Microsoft Excel.
Yeah, or money, am I right? Who knows how to get that sweet green dollary dues.
But I want it. I want money really badly.
It's what I need. By the way, I think the first time I played this game, I completely missed the little shortcut activator here, despite the fact that it's just right there.
I spent a lot of time in this area just being confused. Just not even like, not even having a direction in my confusion. Just.
I'm fairly
Yeah.
certain that I did the exact same thing, so. I feel like there are definite bottlenecks that Blow missed when he was designing the game. Where it's just like, I don't really know what to do here. And, he can't put in like an actual audio log that tells you, all right, this is how the canceller works.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we got colored cancelers now, so that's a fun twist on a old favorite.
Oh, so is the gimmick here that if you if you do 2 and 2, then it'll actually cancel. It'll actually solve the puzzle similarly to that other one.
It counts as a solution to the puzzle if you just partition them off so it's 2 by 2.
Yeah, so that's the way that the canceler is actually a constraint. It's one of those weird things.
It is such a strange. I mean, it's a very cool puzzle and everything, but it is also just.
It feels like some braid shit where it's like, oh, it's the right answer, but that's exactly why it's the wrong answer.
Yep. I mean, that's.
You gotta go back in time to another world.
Another dimension, new reality.
Okay.
Well, now, don't you tell me to stop.
I see what you have to do. You have to go
I got it.
above the. Okay, you do. Okay. There's multiple solutions. I think.
Oh, this one is very fun because it's like it actually cancels out the canceller to make it not work. Oh boy, what a game! I can see why these didn't appear in the Super Post game, but it's like you could do so many shenanigans with them if Blow decided to.
Yeah.
It's very. Oh yeah, and this is the one where it's like.
Oh, I see. Because it'll cancel. Yeah.
Because it'll cancel, so you have to have 4. It's 4 or 5 in. No. You have to have 3 in there to make it cancel 1, and then the other 2 will be valid. Jesus. There we go.
I really like this area. I think it is like it's clever.
It is a. I mean, this is one of those areas that it's like you feel like it's unfair, but you also understand exactly why it is fair.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, man. You know that Jay Bizzle's on the up and up. No, it's not that one. I want to do it like this. No. It can't have 4. It needs to have 3. And then I need to circle around. Okay. Yeesh.
You got it?
There we go. Yeah, I mean, it's not too bad, but it's like, yeah. Oh, yeah, and here's one where it's like you can see the 4 is going to be containing the canceller and the other one, so you just need to partition them off. Like, the only choice is to choose where exactly the 3 block is going to go to make it cancel the correct one and then keep everything else valid. Whew! The explanations, they are simple and complicated. This one is actually just a trick because you think it's going to be like the last puzzle, but it's just Jay Bizzle having a larf. And then these are just another way to move around that claw, which I do believe is used for an environmental puzzle. Oh, no, don't worry. We're going to be doing that soon enough. It's just anytime you see something move, that means environmental puzzle.
That's a good rule of thumb. Yeah.
I mean, it's... And you know, the little fast travel boat? That is included. Here, you want to see something fun? Wait for the video to catch up. Is it really that long?
Oh, now I'm starting to see you're starting the environmental puzzle with the boat or something. So how did that work? I don't understand. How?
What do you mean? The
Like-
bottom of the front of the boat is a circle.
Oh. Wow.
Yep, and that is used for a puzzle. That one actually didn't take me as long as you would think to figure out. Which, I mean, is kind of not so crazy just because of, well,
Yeah.
this video game.
I mean, this game warps your perceptions of reality.
I think that we'll get into this a little bit more with the environmental puzzles, but it is something that you kind of get used to. Where it's like, okay, I'm already on Jonathan Blow's wild ride. I think I can figure it out past this point.
Yeah, part of it is just like intuiting what he wants you to think. Because the puzzles really usually do not have like a complex solution. They just have a complicated solution or a beguiling, chain of reasoning that you have to
That Jonathan
figure
Blow,
out.
he loves to beguile you.
Yeah.
That's why they call him JB the Beguiler.
He loves to hoodwink you.
Just trying to think of other like 1920 slang to throw in here, but I got nothing. Anyway, yeah. The joke is that you want to get rid of one of the Tetramino pieces on this one. Like, you always got to think, it's just like, okay, what did I do? I mean, especially in this area more than anything else, it's always, okay, what did I do versus what do I got to do now? Because the same thing isn't going to work.
What did I do to piss Jonathan Blow off, and how do I
Solve
need to
my
make it
puzzle, will you? Just try to do that again, then.
So you're not going with the Dick Van Dyke from Mary Poppins. You're going from like a Wicked Witch of the West kind of thing.
Sure. I think it can be both.
I think so. Yeah,
He'll be
just-
solving me flying monkeys now, isn't he? Wow, that was terrible. Maybe the worst thing I've ever done on this channel.
yeah. I'm really good at like getting the worst out of people.
Getting them to do the worst accents. It's like, oh, I haven't heard Mike Myers do his Austin Powers impression for a while. What do you think that sound like again? just give me a little taste. And of course, you can see the canceller on the side of this box very clearly. Even like you
But
on the
the-
video there, watching it at like, I think I streamed like 6720, but I should be able to see this one.
Yeah, that was clever.
Yep, and that is actually 2 more. Oh, we could actually do the end game right now if we wanted to.
We have 7.
We have 1 more than that. I think we got 8 right now.